I'm Murphy Robinson with Mountain Sling Expeditions, and we're going to talk about basic rifle safety and form today. If you've done your hunter safety course, you know that the most important aspect of gun safety is to always treat the gun as if it's loaded and have good muzzle control. You never want to point the muzzle, which is the tip of the gun, towards anything that you don't intend to destroy. So another really important aspect of gun safety is to keep your gun locked. This is a trigger lock right here. So I keep this on my gun at all times. I also keep my gun in a separate space from my living space, and I keep the ammo stored separately. So I'll take this off here. This gun is a Savage Axis 308, which is the beginner deer rifle that I recommend for my students if they don't know what else they want to buy. 308 is a great caliber for deer. The ammo is widely available. You can get both lead and non-lead bullets in it. And this rifle is widely available. It's US made, and it's sold in Walmarts and Dick's Sporting Goods and big box stores that are available everywhere if you don't have a small local gun store to patronize. And it's under $400. Comes with a scope, although this is a different scope that I put on mine. It does not come with a sling. This is something that's really helpful to add to your setup. Both for carrying it comfortably in the woods and to steady your shot, and I'll show you how we do that with the Hasty Sling. So this rifle is a bolt action, meaning you can open up this bolt here, pull it back, and when you drive that forward, that's what loads around into the chamber, making it ready to shoot. It has a safety here. This is called a tang safety. If you push it forward, you can see the red dot, so you know that's on fire, and when you pull it back, it covers up the red dot. That's on safe. You never want to trust a safety 100%. But it's a good safeguard to have and engage. Another really important aspect of gun safety is keeping your finger out of the trigger guards at all times until you're actually ready to shoot. So I like to keep my finger along the side here, and then when I'm ready to shoot, I'll slip my finger in. Some people keep their finger behind the trigger, and then they bring it forward when they're ready to shoot. A lot of folks have a super bad habit of just keeping their finger in the trigger guard at all times, which, like, we learn playing childhood games with toy guns and things like that. That is a really, really unsafe thing to do. I will not hunt or shoot with people who have that habit until they break that habit, because it's not safe. So we need to load some rounds into the gun. So this is the magazine here. It comes out. And this is the ammunition I'm using. This is Federal 308 Winchester ammo. I shoot 180 grain. You can shoot either 180 grain or 150 grain with this gun just fine. And looks like this. It's very important to always shoot the correct ammo that matches your gun. So your gun will say on the barrel, here it says Savage Axis 308 Win caliber. And I've looked on my box that that's the caliber I have, and I can also look on the bottom of the brass cartridge here, and indeed it says 308 Win. So I know this is the right round. If I were to put the wrong size round in my gun, really bad, dangerous things could happen to me. So you're going to want to back this into the magazine, put it in, press it down, and push it back to the end. Then the second one to load in is a little harder. You got to kind of push that down and again back the end in. This clip is the front, and this is the back. And this one will hold up to 4. They're kind of like offset so that they don't jam. And it'll do that automatically for you. Alright, I've got all 4 loaded in here. I'm going to put this in the gun so that the bullets are facing forward, just like that. And then I'm going to load a round into the chamber by working the bolt, bringing it up, pulling it back. The spring here makes the ammo rise so it's in the right spot, that when I push the bolt forward, it goes into the chamber. And then I double check to make sure that it's on safe. Now, to have good aim, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to use a certain stance, and I'm going to do what's called the Hasty Sling. So you also want to have eye protection and ear protection. Something like this is really good eye protection. I have impact resistant glasses here, so I just use those because it's hard to find ones that'll fit over eyeglasses. And then you can have either these kind of earmuff protections or the little plugs that go inside your ears are fine too. I'm going to use what's called the kneeling stance. I think this is a really good one to practice for deer hunting because you can get into it quickly. It doesn't require any outside supports, but it's much steadier than just shooting offhand like this with no support for your arms. So for that, I'm going to put my right leg underneath me, and I'm going to have that foot kind of sideways under my bottom. If I had that foot up like this, it's kind of tipsy and unsteady. So if I put that shoe flat on the ground and just sit on that, it's very stable. I'm going to have my left leg forward like this, my toe pointed kind of towards the target, a little bit to the right of it, and I will have my elbow in front of the knee. If I had the point of my elbow on the point of the knee, it would be very wobbly like this because it's 2 points. So I'm going to find that spot in the back of my elbow that kind of sort of mates in there to the bulge of my knee and gives a really steady hold for my elbow. Back here, I'm going to make sure the butt of the rifle, which has this rubber pad, is very close to my shoulder. It's really pushed in there, touching my shoulder. And I want it in the spot where that hinge is in my shoulder, right here. I don't want it too far out because it could slip away. I don't want it too far up because it could slip over. And I don't want it way down in my armpit because it could slip down when that kickback happens. As long as you have the butt really making contact with your shoulder, the gun should just rock your whole body. It won't hit you. All right, and then the last thing I need to add is the Hasty Sling. So that's where I take my left arm, I put it through between the sling and the gun, I bring it back around to the side I started on, and hold the front of the stock right here. So I want this strap coming in behind my elbow. And then I'm putting the elbow on the knee. So that creates this 3-point stabilization, this triangle, where the strap is on the front, it's also locked into my arm, and it's locked in back here. It just makes the whole gun more steady and will give you a better shot. Again, locked into the back here. So I'm going to look through the scope and get a bead on my target right there, put my crosshairs where I want to shoot. And then I'm not going to take off the safety until I'm actually ready to shoot. And I'm not going to put my finger in the trigger guard until I'm actually ready to shoot. It'll look like this. Alright, I can't put the safety back on until after I've ejected that brass cartridge from the chamber. I do that by working the bolt, and then I can load one more into the chamber right here and put it back on safe. Now I'm ready to shoot one more time. Again, I'll set up the Hasty Sling, get my elbow right here, make sure this is set. That cartridge. Done shooting for now, so I'll take that out, put the gun back on safe. That's your basic rifle safety and form.